So this right here goes into more detail. It's by Leo Briseño. So Democrats claim is that the Save America Act would block married women from voting, and Republicans, they are hitting back saying that is wrong. So there's a lot of worry about all of the requirements now needed for voting in the upcoming elections. So Representative Hillary Scholten, she's a Democrat of Michigan, is claiming that under the Republican-led voter integrity legislation, married women would find themselves unable to vote unless they were to change their birth certificate to match their government-issued ID. So nearly 70 million married women in this country have changed their last name, but their birth certificate, it doesn't reflect that. Scholten said at a press event explaining her opposition to the Save America Act. So in Michigan, 3rd District alone, 167,000 women could find themselves unable to register simply because when they got married, they didn't change both their ID and their birth certificates. So this is Hillary Scholten pictured left and the only citizen sign pictured at the right. So however, under Michigan law, marriage isn't listed as one of the reasons to correct the birth certificate. According to the state's Department of Health and Humane Services, citizens may only change their birth certificate to correct a birth record, change a sex designation, or correct a place of birth or amend a parental record. So Scholten, like many Democrats, has voiced opposition to the Save America Act, a bill that will require voter registrants to present government-issued photo ID to verify their citizenship. So the bill would also require a photo ID to vote. So you must show a voter at the voter booths before you even try to attempt to vote. You have to have current ID. So in their view, the bill creates too many obstacles for voters to participate in federal elections. Republicans are trying to sell the Save America Act as a way to stop non-citizens from voting, but we know that's already illegal. What this bill does is make it harder for citizens themselves to vote, especially women. Scholten said when the House considered an earlier version of the legislation last year. So although the bill lists a birth certificate as one of the ways that voters can confirm their identity, it does not specify the last name match requirement in the matter Scholten described. So instead, voters can use a certified birth certificate issued by a state in which the applicant was born that includes the full name, date of the birth, and place of birth of the applicant to supplement other forms of IDs. So among other forms of valid paperwork, voters can also display a passport, a real ID, a military ID, to prove their citizenship. So the senior GOP staffer confirmed that the Save America Act does not come with the requirements Scholten described. That is not right at all, and simply another, what they claim, a Democrat propaganda talking point, the staffer said. Every married woman should have their marriage license. The office of Representative Keith Self, which is a Republican of Texas, one of the many who has helped champion the Save America Act, pointed to an analysis of this bill laid out by Federalist Society, a conservative-leaning legal group. And so attendees listened at the Only Citizens Vote bus tour rally advocating passage of the Save America Act at an upper Senate park outside the U.S. Capitol of Washington, D.C. So the Save Act itself contemplates these name changes and provides protections so Americans who have changed their names because of marriage or otherwise are not prevented from voting, the group's page reads. So the Bipartisan Federal Election Assistance Commission abbreviated EAC, is commanded by the SAVE Act to establish guidelines for states to accept supplementary documents. For instance, a marriage license to prove citizenship when a voter birth certificate and current name do not match. Those on the left who claim the SAVE Act will disenfranchise millions of married women. This is what they allegedly are saying. They think or view it as being simply wrong. They ought to read the bill's text and see that it provides a mechanism to ensure that this does not happen. So Republican Lance Gooden, Republican of Texas, another advocate of the Save America Act, similarly noted that the bill specifically accounts for Shelton's concerns and blasted her description of what the legislation aims to do. So the bill directs states to create a process to address discrepancies with name changes, claiming the Save America Act disenfranchises married women. They claim it's a fallacy, allegedly intended to fearmonger women into opposing election security, Gooden said. So they always use these terms, fearmongering. So Shelton's office did not respond to a request for clarification on her statement. So I've been hearing, so I had to give it to you both ways on what Republicans are proclaiming this is supposed to be, and also what Democrats are saying this could be. But we don't really know until they actually start doing the voting. So you see this comes out of Fox News, which is Republican led. And I'm not a Republican, by the way, but I always try to read both sides to see where their argument is coming from. So now I've heard that there could possibly be problems because of the discrepancies, and then I've heard this side of it. So, I mean, before nobody's had to do this. So my question to all of this is, why do people even have to go to this length just to, the only thing you had to use was your, you had to show like on your ID, you had a state ID you could use, and you could use your driver's license, and then whatever the rules were from before. I don't recall people who were what they say non-citizens or undocumented people voting. I don't believe they could even vote in the elections. So I just think this is another move. It's like fighting back and forth, and it's just another move to make, I would think it could create possibly hurdles, especially if people can't produce all of these documents. So that's probably what this lady Hillary Shelton, is referring to. So she might have some really valid points on that. Because think about it, some people can't produce their birth certificate because they may not even have it anymore. They may have to reorder it. And so that could create a problem or a barrier right there in and of itself. So, some people don't have certain certificates or they may have it and they have to really dig for it to look for it now that all of this is coming into effect. So that's what I would say. I just think it's a lot of fighting back and forth, but we shall see. I think when an election happens and then they start asking for these documents, and then people will start expressing what the concerns are and what the hurdles might be if they have problems, and we have more people saying that, confirming that what this lady is proposing could be issues. If we hear a lot of people stating that, and I have heard some people say that could even present problems for people of color, people from different walks of life could have run into issues with this. We start hearing the complaints, that will really confirm what the hurdles are. So we haven't come upon those elections just yet, but when we do, then we'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out what those hurdles are, and then we'll know where the problems lie.